Okay, hello. I'm just popping on today to talk to you about sleep. I get all sorts of comments and queries about sleep from clients, and so I thought it might be a good thing to just briefly talk about. Um, I have a number of things that I know will improve your sleep. So we're not going to spend a long time on this, but this could be really useful to you. And at the end, what I plan to do is give you a freebie. So it will just give you an opportunity to improve your sleep and or to make sure that your sleep quality is where it should be. Okay. So if you're watching on replay, just give me a hashtag replay in the comments section, and it will be really good if you can just let me know a little bit about your sleep habits too, if you've got any issues, and then I can come back to you and help you out if I can. Okay. So hello, Sam. Nice to see you. Okay, so what I've noticed is at the moment, with everything that's going on in the world, it seems to be disrupting people's sleep. Sometimes this is about anxiety, but also sometimes it's just the change in routine. We're all doing something different. Many of us are working from home, working different hours and that sort of thing. And so there's quite a lot of disruption. Now, you may or may not be aware that there are three stages of sleep. We've got deep sleep, light sleep, and REM sleep. And REM sleep is quite an important stage in our sleep. And we probably are in the REM sleep cycle for about an hour or so, a couple of hours. But it's really important for the processing of our brain. Everything that's happened that day, it's really important for our processing. And the deep sleep is also important in terms of recovery during the day. Now, when we don't sleep well, we tend to get more of the light sleep. And we really want to be trying to improve the quality. So there are a few things we can do about that. Obviously, routine is important. So even though we're at home, maybe, or we're doing different shifts than we'd normally be doing, any routine that we can achieve is best. Hi, Ian. Nice to see you. Um, so, what I want to do is talk to you about sleep hygiene rules. Now, it's a really strange name because it's got nothing to do with hygiene whatsoever, but these are some do's and don'ts that you can do so that you can improve your sleep. And you can just Google the list. You'll find all sorts of things. So here are a few of the do's. So routine is really, really important. Exercise. You will sleep far better if you're getting some exercise during the day. And I know that's difficult at the moment because we're stuck in the house, aren't we, a lot of the time, or we can't really walk very far. But just think about what you can do. Joe Wicks on the TV, aerobics type thing, walking up and down the garden, whatever it is, it will help your sleep improve. Okay. Eating well, but not eating too much because you can eat too much before bedtime and you find that you can't sleep very well. And especially if you've got indigestion or something like that. And there are a lot of people telling me at the moment they're eating too much and they're drinking too much. So these are a few things you can think about. What else do we have of the do's? Let me think. Exercise, making sure your room is the right temperature. For me, if my room is just slightly too warm, I just can't sleep. So actually think about that. Temperature might actually be stopping you from getting the sleep that you need. Okay. All right. So winding down at night is a really big do. Okay, winding down at night. So not watching anything too scary on the TV. Not working till late. Now this is a difficult one at the moment because those of you who are homeschooling, sometimes you having to do your work in the evening when the children are in bed. So I know it's difficult, but what you need to do is leave at least an hour or so where you're actually doing something that isn't stimulating your brain. Okay, that winding down is really, really important. It's a little bit like when children are younger and you go through that routine, don't you? You teach them, okay, so it's, well, we're getting ready for bed, so it's bath, and then it's story, then we're turning down the lights, and that baby gets used to that routine and it knows when it has its bath that actually we're gradually going to go through a process that ends in sleep, okay? But we need something similar as adults. We can't just be working away and then go to bed and expect to sleep. Okay. Oh, hi, Michaela. Lovely to see you. It's nice to see you. Okay. So we need to keep working on the do's and the don'ts. Another really important don't here is your mobile phone. Okay. Mobile phone usage really bad close to bedtime, and iPads. Okay. And the reason for that is behind the screen is a light that stimulates brain activity. Okay. So if you're looking at your phone and flicking through, and a lot of people say this when they wake up in the night, they have a look at their phone, but it's stimulating your brain activity. So you're just going to find yourself thinking and going over things that are on your phone. So really important, leave your phone about an hour beforehand, before you go to bed if you can. And also baby alarms. Some of your baby alarms now that you get are they have the same light, and so they can actually keep you awake, which is bizarre because you usually have them in an area of the room where you're checking them, but they could be the reason they're keeping you awake. And it isn't just the light, it's a particular kind of light that stimulates brain activity. Okay, so speaking of light, another do is to try and make your room as dark as possible. Okay. Now, there are lots of don'ts as well on the sleep hygiene rules list. Um, they do say don't watch TV before bed, and that works for some and not for others. And again, no scary movies, no mobile phone usage. So I'd really encourage you to have a look at the sleep hygiene rules. Just Google them and just see if you are doing everything you can to make sure you're getting that really good sleep quality. Because if you're not getting the sleep, and anyone who's experienced this will know what I'm talking about, if you're not getting the sleep, you're emotional, you can't concentrate, you can't think straight, and it does lead to anxiety and depression at times. So getting that perfect sleep, or as perfect as we can get it, is really important. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention to you, and it's really a freebie that I have, is mindfulness. Now, you may or may not have heard of mindfulness. It's kind of a really simple strategy, and it works on the premise that if you are worrying or anxious, you tend to be worrying about something that's happened in the past or that could happen in the future. Now, when we're thinking about the here and now, we don't tend to feel anxious or stressed. So mindfulness is a whole bunch of strategies to get you to keep your mind in the here and now. Okay, so just let me know if you've heard of mindfulness or you've tried it. Just give me a comment, and then I've got a bit of an idea of what your experience is. Those that are listening, and again, if this is on replay and you're watching it on replay, just give me a hashtag replay and just let me know what your experience is of mindfulness. So there's lots of ways of doing mindfulness. You might pick up a leaf, for example. This is the simplest way of doing it. Pick up a leaf or something like that and just begin to notice things in that leaf that maybe you wouldn't have noticed before. The spine, the colour, the texture. And so while you're doing that, you're keeping your thought in the here and now. Okay, Sam, so you've heard of it, but you've never used it. Well, maybe you can have a go today. So that's the simplest way of using mindfulness, is to just focus on something in the here and now. But my favourite way is to listen to a download or an app. And these are really useful little tools that you can use to get you some really good sleep. So there are a number of apps that you can get, some free, that you can have a look on the internet. And the best ones, I think, are a voice that takes you through a breathing technique. And if you just do what that app tells you to do, follow what the voice is telling you to do, then at the end, it gradually slows your breathing down. And when your breathing slows, your heart rate drops. And bingo, there you go. You're off to sleep. Okay, so using an app is really useful. And my freebie that I'm offering today is actually on the Confidence Guru website. It's a mindfulness app for sleep. Okay, so if you're struggling and you fancy having a go at mindfulness, it's totally free. Just go to www.confidenceguru.com and it's there in the downloads. Okay, so I really hope you try it. I find it really, really useful. And before bed, using mindfulness, it just kind of empties my head. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is just have a go with that, or even just download the sleep hygiene rules and just see if there is anything you can do to get a better night's sleep. Because at the moment, as I say, everything's up in the air, and the best thing we can do is get a good night's sleep at the moment. So I hope you like the mindfulness track. Hope you give that a go. And please just share this with anyone you think you might be struggling to sleep at the moment. Okay, nice to see you. Take care. And, if there's any messages or any questions that you want to ask, I will come back to you. All right. Bye then.